Welcome back to Sports Talk. Finally, tonight we're going to wrap it up here with the situation with Lamar Jackson. Um, Lamar Jackson may be seeking a trade. He's not happy in Baltimore right now. Despite the signing of Odell Beckham Jr., Lamar Jackson probably still doesn't want to stay. But the one thing that triggered me most was Herm Edwards, who works for ESPN, said maybe this idea would work. Let's take a listen.
Maybe to do something that would be unique when you think about the Texans. If I'm the Texans, I'm trading out of the pick and giving it to the Ravens, and I'm going to ask, can I have Lamar Jackson?
There you have it. Not sure if the Houston Texans are watching at this hour, but you just got a suggestion from a good coach, Herman Edwards. He's respected. Trade up your pick for Lamar Jackson. I mean, will it be convenience for him? You never know. In this state and age right now, Lamar Jackson has done well in Baltimore. He's took his team to the playoffs. He plays very proactive as far as the run goes. He plays. If you look at his tapes, he plays more of a Michael Vick and a Colin Kaepernick put together in one. And this is the guy that took over for Joe Flacco 5 years ago. 5 years ago, he took over the reins of that team, led them to the playoffs. And yeah, they've gone far. They haven't gone far. But Lamar Jackson, you would think that getting the addition of Odell Beckham saying, hey, I'll stay here. But still, it seems that he doesn't want to stay in Baltimore. Here's another team that's really into him. Now, a couple of days ago, I watched a show, NBC Sports, when they talk about their football. So they went on their show and they said that, the 49ers could be a perfect place for Lamar Jackson to go. When you have a tight end, George Kittle, you have a explosive receiver and Deebo Samuel, and then you got a defense that they have, you probably want to go there for sure. On the Dan Patrick show, it was reported that the 49ers want to look into Lamar Jackson. But there's no word yet from Baltimore if the trade situation is open. These are just speculations. Let me make that perfectly clear. These are speculations. We're not saying it's going to happen. It's saying you should know, if you're a football fan, you should know that every year on draft day, expect the unexpected. Who could remember the draft of 1994? The feud between Mel Kiper Jr. and Bill Tobin with the famous who in the hell is Mel Kiper Jr. Because Mel Kiper Jr. was mad because the Colts didn't get anybody else because the only quarterback they had on the field was Jim Harbaugh. And the funny thing of that was Harbaugh led the Colts to the AFC Championship game last year. And again, draft day, expect the unexpected. That's all I'm going to say. And if you don't believe me, then let's take a look back at the timeline or history. Let me show you what Mel Kiper said.
Yeah, there's no question about that, but you got a problem with this move? I think it's a typical Colt move. I mean, here's a team that needed a franchise quarterback. To pass up a Trent Dilfer when all you have is Jim Harbaugh, give me a break. That's why the Colts are picking second every year in the draft, not battling for the Super Bowl like other clubs in the National Football League.
I still can't believe he said that. Here's a guy who, I'm going to take this from Chris Collinsworth. Here's a guy who's an outside source, who does his homework. he does his research on these draft players. He releases these draft books every year of like who to pick and not to pick, what their strength is, what their weakness is, what can they produce, what they cannot produce, what their strength is and their weaknesses and all that stuff. And for him to just go out and to just like go, ape for not taking a quarterback, you think you're not going to PO an owner? In fact, let's find out what Bill Tobin said after that.
Well, we got a guy up there. Who in the hell is Mel Kiper, in a way? I mean, here's a guy that criticizes everybody, whoever they take. He's got the answers to who you should take and who you shouldn't take. In my knowledge of him, he's never ever put on a jockstrap. He's never been a coach. He's never been a scout. He's never been an administrator. And all of a sudden, he's an expert. He's in our papers 2 days ago telling us who we have to take. We don't have to take anybody that Mel Kiper says we have to take. Mel Kiper has no more credentials to do what he's doing than my neighbor, and my neighbor's a postman, and he doesn't even have season tickets to the NFL.
Oh, man. I guess you're going to get a shot response after saying something like that. And I'm pretty sure a lot of NFL owners would probably be like, yeah, who in the hell is this Mel Kiper Jr. guy, Just like, ugh. I mean, it's just so funny. I mean, then again, like I remember they went back to Kiper, and I think he had a response. I don't remember much, but I think we're working to see if we can find a response to what Tobin said. But let's see if we can get a reaction.
Well, Tobin obviously not going out to dinner tonight.
Well, Chris, I'll tell you, I'm secure in my position. Obviously, Bill Tobin is not very secure in his position to have a response like that.
I didn't take exception to the comments. Bill Tobin was entitled to his opinion. He was critical of what I said, so be it. I wasn't there to show for the NFL. I was there to give an opinion, and I've always done that.
To me, it's a mistake. You cannot go with Jim Harbaugh and pass up Trent Dilfer. Forget it. That's why the Colts are the laughing stock of the league year in and year out.
I think I remember Chris Berman saying after that was April something 1994, a day which will live in infamy. And yeah, it was an infamy thing because to this day, it's still being talked about. And I'm pretty sure everybody thought, for ratings and drama. I mean, it's okay to have drama like that. It makes it so much fun. Here's a... yes, Chris Collinsworth. Here's a guy who's an outside source. Here's a guy who owns a professional football team. And believe it or not, he did research and he found out Mel Kiper was from Baltimore, which he's like, it makes sense. These guy was taking jabs at the Colts. So there's a play out, There's a source, a sports analyst. And then you have the owner of a national football team who doesn't like to take advice from the analyst because the analyst could be right or the analyst could be wrong. But again, the story of this one was Jim Harbaugh stayed with the Colts. He played there till about 96. He took the team to the AFC Championship game a year after this infamous moment of the draft. Bill Tobin looked like a genius, but he ended up getting fired in 97 after the Colts posted a 3-13 mark. So he got fired a year before Peyton Manning showed up. So why did I bring it up? Because there's a possibility that it could be like this with Lamar Jackson. We don't know yet. Again, it's just a speculation that teams are looking to see trades. Houston may be one landing spot. The 49ers had said that, they want to shot at him. So we'll see. Draft day starts tomorrow, so we'll just have to wait and see what's going to happen, come first pick. Just to let you know, for you Ram fans, the Rams are not picking into the third round. Remember, they gave up those draft picks to go all in for the Super Bowl. Sometimes it works, sometimes it goes bad. but they did win it. They weren't able to do nothing. We'll talk about that more at a later time. So just wondering, just let you know, they will not pick to the third round. They got the third round pick from the trade to Jalen Ramsey to the Miami Dolphins, so that's why they have that third round pick. So we'll talk about the Rams' needs for the draft next time. But I do wanna thank everybody today for tuning in. Again, if you missed today's show, you can always come back on my YouTube page. You can always look through past episodes. Go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Also, click on the ring bell because it's going to tell you when new episodes are being uploaded here on YouTube. So again, thank you all for joining us today. My name is Ed. This has been Sports Talk with Ed. We'll see you at the draft. Have a good night, everyone.